The thing that struck me, Rob, was when he said this whole resistance and the left, that just everything seems so crazy. He said it's fake.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that now. It's propped up by the government and the NGOs funneling money to these fake protests, these rent-a-mobs. And he knows more than us because he's even seen more than us. And I think we need to remember that. This is not a country that's torn apart 50-50. The vast majority are for turning things around, common sense, cutting down the waste in government, and restoring our liberties and freedom. Yeah,
and it's just like we always talked about this, especially during COVID when we had George Floyd. You wonder, like, how did these protests just occur? And you could just tell that there was money being just pumped into it to create this outrage, to create this destabilization of this country that we saw in 2020, because they wanted to feel like this country was just tearing itself apart over this. It really wasn't. There was just a lot of money making it. It didn't make any sense at all.
We started with, right after President Trump's inauguration, the pink hats, remember all of that? And they had a ton of money going toward it. They were tipping cars, setting businesses on fire, cop cars on fire. Then it moved into the BLM and the Antifa. And, they changed the name, but they had so much money behind it. We were wondering, where are they getting this money? And now in the past couple of weeks, we found out where they're getting it. USAID. And wait until we get to the Department of Defense. Wait until we get to these other departments. I think we've just scratched the surface.
Yeah, I think so too. I want to play this. Elon Musk on being vilified. As somebody that's been so popular for such a long time in this country, nonpartisan for most of his life, even leaning left. Now he's MAGA, and how hard it's been being vilified by the media this way. Take a listen.
What's it like from going neutral to being vilified, largely vilified by the media? Like you're
what? No, really?
I mean, you turn on some of these channels, brother. I mean, they're angry at you. Does it bother you at all? Does it get to you?
I mean, when they're chanting for my death, I suppose that's a little,
not good.
But then, like, the song's not even that good, and it's like you call that a death chant? That's nothing. Please.
And the leftists are now selling their Teslas in protest. Sheryl Crow selling her Tesla last week. It's like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
And how about all these songs? I mean, have you heard the singing? The worst songs I've ever heard. They get together and they sing the stupidest song you've ever heard. And to protest. To protest what? We're trying to find waste in the government. Is there anybody that doesn't want that?
It's so uncool. I mean, truly, it's so uncool to be rooting against this great country that they've given them everything. And so, you know what? Honestly, if this crazy small sect of people are not rooting against you, then you're probably on the wrong side. If you're not being attacked, you're probably on the wrong side. If you haven't had to sacrifice, you probably haven't done enough. And I thank God for Elon. Remember, there was another guy who was beloved by everyone, the left, the right, sports, entertainment, you name it. And his name was Donald J. Trump, back when he was a private citizen many years ago. And when you step up and do the important things in this world, you often get vilified. And that's how history has been. Look back at some of the great figures in history. They've all been vilified.
Such a good point. Kari Lake, thanks so much for stopping by.
Great job
good
tonight.
to see you. Thank you as a journalist yourself.
It was
I
good.
appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt Tonight on Newsmax.